Alright, so sometimes you call it a no fix, and the customer's wallet disagrees with you and it wants to be a fix. So let's fix it. Let's get into it. Alright, let's ignore what that guy was just doing, and I'll show you why. Let's get into it. No, you're not seeing doubles. You're seeing another one. I don't know what's going on. People are wanting to resurrect these. They found out I can fix one. They're sending them in. Who knows? This one was missing the front screen, but it did come with the original cord, the remote, and this Bluetooth wireless adapter that goes on the 30 pin. That's going to be interesting. So we've already done this. Let's do it and get into it again. We're going to start by soaking our edge. This one doesn't look like it's been falling apart. This one should show us a challenge. Oh yeah, this one's tight. This one is tight. See, this is how they're supposed to be. If you don't ruin your pry tool trying to get in, you're not doing something right. This is really tight. Do we got anywhere that's going to let me in? Let's start down in this corner maybe. Now this one has not been opened or subjected to some kind of water damage. That alcohol is really loosening it up. It's not going to let me in. See, this one here is better for the really thin one. You watch your edges there. So that glue's loosened up pretty good here. This is how it should feel. Now, the only thing with the metal ones is you want to watch you don't gouge your edges. You can be generous with the alcohol. And go slow if it fights, because you'll come flying in and cut that foam. See, now we're through. You remember somewhere, so we got this one, oh, and this one here. Okay, so these two we're gonna have a little obstruction. See how I got a little edge I nicked off, because this one is tight. Here we go. So you're not really going to damage anything in there with this IPA down in there. you don't know what it is. There's another inquiry on a repair on one of these too that could be making its way here. I don't know if people are getting nostalgic or they're hooking them up to something else. I mean, it does have an auxiliary, and as I mentioned, it's got a Bluetooth adapter made for that 30 pin. Now this thing should be loose. See, now this is how these things are supposed to come off. Even our sound tubes are wanting to stick in, which is pretty typical. So what's holding us up? Somewhere over here is really hanging on. Beautiful. Now a lot of times, if you protect this, you can see pretty good. This one's in great condition, that big sticker that they might have used. And if you don't disturb this, you kind of protect it, this will go back down and you'll be able to stick it in. You might not even have to add anything extra. All right, we're in. Well, we're not in, but we're done with the pry tools again. They're not all covered in sandy grit. And now it's the same thing as before. Let's get our bass speaker out. And get ready for the sticky goodness inside. Now watch, that's what I said last time. Yeah, see, this one popped out pretty good. Now that looks nice. And this foam isn't as degraded, but it is a little sticky. So let's get a close-up in here. This one's a much cleaner. We can kind of see what's going on in here. So right here is our bass speaker connector. Right there. There's our latch. And I found the big forceps. Let's get you a good shot here. They don't like to let go, do they? Which I guess that's the whole objective. And there we go on that one. This speaker looks nice and clean. This is how they should be. See how we're going to start getting that foam? See how it's all sticky? That's pretty typical. So now we've got the same thing. We need to get this one out. Where is it at? That one there. Got the other one right next to it. That one there. So now we've got both our speakers undone. And then we need this sensor and this sensor wire. You see how this is already, it gets really messy to deal with. So there's little undercuts in here that these wires slide into. So here's the other, and that actually can stay in there. Now we can see our connectors. They're really small and down in there. And this is that copper tape. We can take that loose. It's just going to be in our way. And we'll clean that up. Now these plugs are all different sizes, so you can't really mix them up. Where does that one go? See, now you can see the plugs pretty good. And I know I'm pulling on the wires, but they're alright. They're going to come loose. And these can get fun, putting them back in. So is that all I need? This cover? Oh, no, this one here comes on the cover. These are definitely a little bit fun to deal with. Sorry, you can't see this. I'm down in there trying to get this unplugged. I don't think there's a better way to do this. I mean, we could maybe try loosening this up and fold it out. Maybe that'll be a little better. Let's get these out. Let's get our big screws out. Remember, this one and this one you don't need to do nothing with. So let me see here now, because I wanted to try this to see if we can't get a better view. I'm going to slide this out of that slot. I don't think this is going to let us do this. No, that wire is just too tight in there. And see how this stuff just gets everywhere. Boy, that one didn't want to come out. Okay, so I think we can get this out now. Yeah, this one's much cleaner. And we can take a better look here. It's not all rusted and corroded in the foam. You can see how you've got your two speaker wires, the one sensor, they're routed around. You got the other sensor. So now we're into this box. This is how a clean one looks. And we've got this lead that is part of the battery connection. And this one goes to the 30 pin, so we can unplug it from the top here. We'll leave this one on the power supply. That'll be much easier. And then this one too is part of the touch sensor. We can unplug it there. because those are going to be a real bear to plug in down there. And I didn't need to unplug this one. Let's you know what, I take that back. I think we're going to unplug this. Because if you see here, this thing barely misses this. And like I said, these are a little tricky to get to. So if we get these off, let's get this disconnected here. Then we're going to take off this top control board. Which is going to force us to disconnect these. We've got this power cord we've got to get out of here too. I'm not sure I'm going to like doing it this way. Yeah, I'm really wishy-washy today. Let's see what happens here. We go all the way down to those bottom screws. There's 4 of those. Let's see if we can get this box out. I seem to remember it was kind of a headache trying to get it out without taking this 30-pin board out. Alright, yeah, see? Yeah, I don't know. That one time it fought me, so I don't know, I just didn't know what I was doing or something. So now we get to do a little fun thing. Got to take out this foam, and we need to get this power connector out of here. And this is where most of the damage was done on the swamp box. This was really ugly down on the other one. This board down here, is the auxiliary in. I don't think we really need to take it out, but we may need to get the plug off, because it comes around and connects on here. Okay, so if we tilt this guy up, so which one did I disconnect? Oh, okay. So yeah, this is on here. I think this one we can connect first before, and we can. It's easier to connect it down there. Oh. Okay. What happened to the gloves? So you also see how this, all that black stuff, look at how it gets on everything. But that's okay, it cleans up pretty good too. With some alcohol. We'll clean that up when it's done. So we can put all this away for now. Am I going the right way? That's good. Let's put this away. Okay, so we're down to the important stuff. This one looks much better than the other one, doesn't it? You can see the connectors. Remember that one I was asking you the connector? Look at, there's nothing there. I did have to go further into the other one. Customer wants to see if I can fix it. So I ran into a problem of not having any donor boards. So depending upon what's wrong with this one, it's going to help us fix the other one. Alright, now don't lose these little plastic spacers. They go on top of this board when it goes together. All of this looks so good. The other one was so bad. Come on. Really? And these all kind of make sense when you get into them later. There's the LED, the auxiliary, the iPod dock, the touch sensors on the top, and the IR sensor. So this board looks very clean too. And see how this foamy stuff just gets on everything. And if you were really ambitious, I guess you could redo all that if you wanted to deal with that mess. So let's see what's inside here. Usually this is where the problem I always found are the big filter caps. That's why I never really even want to plug these things in, because it's very rare that you don't have an issue down in this power supply. These things don't have an on-off switch. I guess they're meant to be there to charge your iPod all the time. So between the rectifier and the filter caps, they're always under AC. So this thing too gets very fun to get into. There's some shields in here that are basically glued. Oh, that'd be nice if I take the other two screws out. I always forget those. That'll make it easier to come apart, right? Boy, these are really, look at all the thread lock on them. Somebody really locked those on. Now be careful, because these filter caps could be holding a charge. And they'll zap you, so you need to know what you're doing with these things. If you're not experienced with AC, don't mess with it. See, in this one too, our caps look gorgeous. I hope this one doesn't have the same problem the other one does. That looks different, I don't remember that. We've got a couple fuses down in here. These are definitely a sticky item to deal with. Well, let's check our power supply. And let's see what we're getting on here. See, so we haven't lost the fuses. It's going to be the same problem. which is not good because that's what I was hoping to find some values on this one. So let's get this powered up and do some measurements. What we've got is a blue, black, and a gray, and a green, black, and a gray. Those are our key values. So let's power this guy on and see if anything blows. Alright, we're powered up. We're not pulling any currents at all. So I think it's this one. 6 volts. This one should be 17. 17. Yeah, let's go this way. Here's another 17. That's a ground. And a 3.3. So once again, we've got a good power supply. It's going to be in our control board. Let's get everything powered off. What we're going to find is we're going to find a short on our 17. Let's connect up our black on here. I know, ignore the colors. This is black going to ground. This is going to be a ground. This is going to be a ground. And it almost seems like this thing doesn't have a problem. All right, I think we're going to end this one here for now, because getting this board out, I have a component I need to find the value of, and there's no schematics, nothing on these. And this one doesn't appear to be shorted like the other one was. We're going to use this to find out a value, replace it. We're going to get both these supplies and control boards working, and we'll have 2 of these fixed. Like, subscribe. See you next time. Take it easy.